What family tradition was literally poisoning everyone's brain? Growing up, New Year's Eve at my house was epic. My grandma Nani would start cooking this huge pot of soup she called memory soup, like 3 days before. The whole house would smell like this weird mix of spices and herbs. She'd say it would make us smart and healthy for the whole year. I'm Arjun, and I thought every Indian family did this. Nani would disappear into her little garden behind our garage and come back with these bundles of herbs she'd dried and stored in old pickle jars. Some I recognized like cilantro and mint, but there were these other weird-looking leaves and seeds that looked nothing like the stuff at the grocery store. Every single family member had to drink at least 2 bowls. No exceptions. Even my baby cousin got a few spoonfuls mixed with milk. Nani would stand there watching us finish every drop, nodding like she was some kind of medicine woman. The soup actually tasted pretty good, spicy and warm with this earthy flavor I couldn't place. But what happened after was always weird. Everyone would get super relaxed and giggly. My dad would start telling these random stories from when he was a kid. My aunt would laugh at everything. I just figured it was because we were all together and happy. But then I started noticing other stuff, like how my mom would forget where she put her keys for hours after New Year's, or how my uncle would get these massive headaches and complain about feeling dizzy for days. Grandpa would sometimes see things that weren't there. He'd point at the corner and ask who that person was, but nobody was standing there. Everyone just blamed it on getting older or being stressed from work. It's just life, my dad would say when I asked why everyone seemed so out of it in January. When I started working at the pharmacy during college, I learned about different medications and their side effects. One day, this lady came in asking about her husband who was seeing things and forgetting stuff. The pharmacist started asking about what plants he might have eaten, and it got me thinking. I started researching the symptoms my family had been having for years. Forgetfulness, dizziness, mild hallucinations, headaches. It all pointed to some kind of poisoning. But from what? That's when I decided to investigate Nani's garden. I took pictures of all her plants and started looking them up online. Most were normal cooking herbs, but then I found it. This plant with white trumpet-shaped flowers that she called Nani's special memory herb. My blood went cold. It was Datura, devil's trumpet. The internet said it was toxic as hell and could cause exactly the symptoms my family had been experiencing. Even small amounts could mess with your brain and nervous system. I confronted Nani about it, showing her the pictures on my phone. She got defensive immediately. Our ancestors used this for hundreds of years. It makes memory strong. But as she was talking, I noticed she kept forgetting what she was saying mid-sentence. She'd start a story and then look confused about how it was supposed to end. That's when it hit me. Nani had been poisoning herself longer than anyone. She'd been making this soup for like 40 years, taste testing it every time. The confusion I thought was just old age was actually her brain being slowly damaged by this plant. New Year's Eve was 2 weeks away. I had to do something, but I knew if I told everyone, Nani would be crushed. This tradition was like her whole identity, so I made a plan. The morning of New Year's Eve, while Nani was at temple, I snuck into her garden and found her herb bundle for this year's soup. I carefully removed all the datura leaves and replaced them with extra mint and some other safe herbs that looked similar. When dinner time came, I watched everyone eat the soup, holding my breath. Nobody said anything about it tasting different. My little cousin even asked for seconds. But this time, nobody got that weird giggly feeling. Nobody complained about headaches the next day. I waited 2 months before telling my parents what I'd discovered. When I showed them the research about datura poisoning, my mom literally started crying. She'd been worried about early dementia because of her memory problems. We had a family meeting without Nani first. Everyone was shocked, but also relieved. My uncle said he'd been secretly worried he was losing his mind. My dad admitted he'd been considering seeing a doctor about his memory issues. The hardest part was telling Nani. She cried and kept saying she'd been trying to help everyone. But within 6 months, her confusion started clearing up. My uncle, who'd been on medication for memory loss, actually got better. Everyone's New Year brain fog just disappeared.